Hello and welcome again to Not Fake News. Don't forget to share, subscribe, smash that like button. Weapons flowing into Syria pushed by Hillary Clinton into jihadist possession with Syria, including ISIS. That's there in those emails by Julian Assange, 7/25/2016. Almost an entire year ago. Where's the investigation? It's starting now with Loretta Lynch, hopefully. We have a bunch of breaking stories to get to right now, so let's do this. First, busted. Sanders just accused of corruption immediately does something unbelievable by Emily Nowick. And surprise, what Melania just said about Barron Trump will have everyone cheering by Emily Nowick. And a bonus. Unbeatable. Donald Trump just made China do the impossible to North Korea today by Paris Swade. Sounds good. Let's get right into it. Sanders just accused of corruption immediately does something unbelievable. Sanders' face, not happy. The woman next to him, her face, priceless. Well, this is awkward. Bernie Sanders and his wife, Jane, just lawyered up to defend themselves against an FBI investigation into possible fraud and political corruption linked to Jane's position as president of Burlington College. Oh, Jane, what did you do now? Politico recently came out with an explosive new report on the controversy surrounding Sanders. The Sanders, plural, the two of them. There's a lot to unpack, and despite the investigation going on for nearly a year, both the press and Sanders have avoided talking about it. He was even able to run for president. Yeah! God bless America the way it was. Here are the main allegations. I need to clear my voice. Literally. Jane Sanders might have purposefully lied about how much money Burlington College had to secure a $10 million loan. She said the college had $2 million in pledged donations when in fact it had less than $1 million. So she's a liar? Bernie Sanders may have used his political influence to secure the $10 million loan, which the bank approved despite the college's obviously precarious financial state. Jane Sanders became president of the college in 2004 and soon after became a legacy project that was supposed to grow the college's campus size and student body. The college was very small, with roughly 200 students, no endowment, and an operating budget of about $4 million a year. Despite the precarious financial position of the college, Jane wanted to buy a 33-acre lakefront property for $10 million. Which would then need to be renovated for millions more. You don't need to be an accountant to realize this kind of purchase made no financial sense. Somehow, the bank loan was approved. The college closed down, and in 2016 it was inevitably could not make good on its loan payments. The question is, did Jane Sanders lie about how much money the college had? And did Bernie Sanders use his position as senator to pressure the bank to approve the loan? No, the question is, what's up with that lakefront? They don't, own it, do they? The Sanders are denying all allegations, but the FBI investigation is ongoing, and Liberty Riders will follow the results very closely. The mainstream media is unsurprisingly very quiet about the issues swirling around the Sanders. So share this 10 trillion frickin' times to get the news out to everyone. Surprise. And they wanted that guy to be president. You believe this? Oh my God. What Melania just said about Barron Trump will have everyone cheering. On Friday, First Lady Melania Trump gave her first interview since moving into the White House 2 weeks ago on Fox and Friends, and she has some exciting updates. The First Lady said that her and Barron are enjoying it very much, and Barron loves it. Yes, all settled. He loves it there. I guess somebody was saying he doesn't like it there, and he's sad. It's great to know that Melania and Barron are enjoying their new home, but Barron's already having some fun. According to the New York Post, 1 month before they moved in, Barron got a take of his whole entire 5th grade class of 80 students on a tour of the White House, where they had lunch with the president and talked to him about being the best you could be for your country. Quick note, 80 students in his class? Oh, I guess that's the entire 5th grade class, maybe? That's a lot of kids in one classroom, is what I'm saying. I'm sure this is not important, right? Okay, moving on. Isn't that just the sweetest? I had to deepen my voice, so I couldn't know how to say that. The interviewer then asked Melania if she's been missing New York City, where her and Barron had been living in as he finished up the school year. The First Lady answered, "Not really. I'm so busy and we're doing so many great things, so it's really a special place. We love it here." Check out the whole interview below where Melania looks fab. She does. And I believe she's wearing a $2,500 blah, blah, blah dress from blah. I don't know where. All I remember is those numbers.
Congratulations, you moved into the White House. How is it?
We are enjoying it very much.
How about Barron with school?
He loves it, yes. All settled. He loves it here.
Good. Are you missing New York?
Not really. I'm so busy and we're doing so many great stuff. So it's a really special place.
And
I love
tonight?
it here.
That's wonderful.
Tonight it's a great picnic, congressional picnic with all of us getting together. It's New York City team, and we have carousel and great stuff outside.
Great. Big news today. You said you didn't tape James Comey. Do you want to explain that? Why did you want him to believe that you possibly did that?
Well, I didn't tape him. You never know what's happening when you see that the Obama administration, and perhaps longer than that, was doing all of this unmasking and surveillance, and you read all about it, and I've been reading about it for the last couple of months about the seriousness of and horrible situation with surveillance all over the place, and you've been hearing the word unmasking, a word you probably never heard before. So you never know what's out there. But I didn't tape, and I don't have any tape, and I didn't tape. But when he found out that that there may be tapes out there, whether it's governmental tapes or anything else, and who knows, I think his story may have changed. I mean, you'll have to take a look at that, because then he has to tell what actually took place at the events. And my story didn't change. My story was always a straight story. My story was always the truth. But you'll have to determine for yourself whether or not his story changed. But I did not tape.
It was a smart way to make sure he stayed honest in those hearings.
Well,
It wasn't entirely dumb.
Wasn't very stupid, I can tell you that.
It wasn't entirely dumb.
He did admit that what I said was right. And if you look further back before he heard about that, I think maybe he wasn't admitting that. So you'll have to do a little investigative reporting to determine that. But I don't think it'll be that hard.
Robert Mueller, do you think he should recuse himself from this? Because he is good friends with James Comey. He's hired some attorneys that were part of Hillary Clinton's foundation and given money to President Obama and Hillary Clinton's campaign. Should he recuse himself?
Well, he's very, very good friends with Comey, which is very bothersome. But he's also, we're going to have to see. I mean, we're going to have to see in terms, look, there has been no obstruction. There has been no collusion. There has been leaking by Comey. But there's been no collusion, no obstruction, and virtually everybody agrees to that. So we'll have to see. I can say that the people that have been hired are all Hillary Clinton supporters. Some of them worked for Hillary Clinton. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous if you want to know the truth from that standpoint. But Robert Mueller's an honorable man, and hopefully he'll come up with an honorable solution.
Today, there are 4 senators that said they're not supporting this health care bill, 4 Republican senators. What is your message to them? Because your supporters that voted for you are a little frustrated because you have the White House, you have the House, Republicans have the House and the Senate, but you have these senators that are not on board.
Well, there are also 4 good guys and they're 4 friends of mine, and I think that they'll probably get there. We'll have to see. Healthcare is a very difficult situation. If you look, the Clintons tried to get it, and after years and years, they couldn't do it. Obamacare was murder for them to get, and now it's failed. It's virtually out of business. Obamacare is a disaster, and we're trying to do something in a very short period of time. It's interesting, I've been here for only 5 months. People saying, where's the healthcare? Where's the healthcare? Well, I've done in 5 months what other people haven't done in years, and people have worked on healthcare for many years. It's a very complicated situation from the standpoint you do something that's good for one group but bad for another. It's a very, very narrow path, but I think we're going to get there. We have 4 very good people that, it's not that they're opposed, they'd like to get certain changes, and we'll see if we can take care of that.
We're getting word now that some Democrats even want Nancy Pelosi to step down. A lot of Republicans think Democrats are in denial. They didn't win these special elections. They don't have the House, they don't have the Senate, they don't have the White House. What do Democrats need to do? Are they in denial, and what do they need to do to get on board?
Well, first of all, I hope she doesn't step down. I think that it would be a very, very sad day for Republicans if she steps down. I'd be very, very disappointed if she did. I'd like to keep her right where she is because our record is extraordinary against her. But we'll see what happens. There has been a lot of talk about her stepping down. We'll have to see what happens.
I would like to keep her right where she is.
The victory in Atlanta was very big. They spent $30 million. We had a candidate who did a very, very good job. I think I helped a lot. And we had a great candidate. But we are 5-0, as you know, in these special elections.
5-0. That's what I
And
thought.
I think the Democrats thought it would be a lot different than that. 5-0 is that's a big margin. And this last one was very interesting, though, because they put everything into it. They had every consultant. They had agencies, advertising agencies.
Hollywood?
I mean, think of it. Hollywood came out. And in the end, we won quite easily, much, by a bigger margin than anybody would have thought. So they're going to have to do something. I will say this. They are right now obstructionists. All they want to do is try and obstruct. I think they'd do much better as a party if they got along with us, if they called us and said, let's work on health care together, let's work on tax cuts together and tax reform, let's work on infrastructure together, we can do it together. I honestly think they do better at the polls. I think the American
He's
public
trying
is
to help you,
tired of
Democrat.
obstructionists.
Listen.
And I honestly believe that. And when I say that, boy, would the people love to see 2 parties getting together and coming up with the perfect health care plan, because Obamacare has failed now. It's dead. The insurance companies are all flocking and leaving, and it's a real problem.
Wouldn't that be refreshing if we could all come
It'd be
together?
so nice.
I know.
And that's the way it should be. And there have been moments in our country's history where that's what happened. And those were the greatest things, whether it was Social Security or Medicare. It was 2 parties got together and came up with great solutions to problems. I don't think that's going to happen, but that is what should happen.
With all the crazy things happening in politics lately, it's good to know the First Lady and Barron are happy and comfortable. Share the story 10,000 times to brighten up your newsfeed. Yeah, if for nothing else, do that. But that was a great full speech with Fox and Friends right there, that girl. So yeah, I enjoyed that. I didn't see the entirety of that. I didn't see the part where he said, I'd like to keep her right where she is. That's beautiful. That was funny. Okay, Paris Wade, unbeatable. Bonus, here we got here. Donald Trump just made China do the impossible to North Korea yesterday. Donald Trump promised he would make China respect us in trade and deal with North Korea. Well, guess what happened? After a long week for Rex Tillerson and Jim Mattis, it was finally agreed that China will take our side. Not just that, they actually declared they will now team up with Trump to denuclearize North Korea forever. The statement was released in a Chinese state-run paper where they said both sides reaffirmed that they will strive for the complete, verifiable, and irreversible denuclearization of Korean Peninsula. This is huge news all around. China is the only powerful trade partner that North Korea has left. If they lose them, they are done for. So, with the world's superpowers finally teaming up, the future looks bright. However, we must remember that North Korea is still a nuclear threat. In fact, the Daily Star declared that North Korea plans to start a new Great War with the world tonight. What? What? In fact, the Daily Star declared that North Korea plans to start new Great War with the world tonight. Like in tonight? Hopefully, China and our Navy can stop their missiles. Until it's over, please pray to God and keep South Korea, Japan, and ourselves safe. Amen. Okay, we're going into Daily there. I was like, excuse me, what? What? Daily Star declares. Okay, the Daily Star. Daily Star. Well, it takes a really long time. Yeah, this thing's trying to load onto pages. What is it doing? Here's a hint when you're on sites like this. Don't touch your mouth. Just leave it alone. Kim Jong-un observes the latest missile test. Okay, what's that? What the hell was that? Okay. I don't know. You know what? The craziest leader, the Herman, is fuming after 3 soldiers defected to South in just a week. Tyrant Jong-un could start new Great War with the world amidst fears it will start today. Published today, June 25th, by Nicholas Bieber. North Korea wants to start a new Great War. And tensions are at all times high. Japan troops lining up, Russia fighter jets circling, and the U.S. bombers are roaring ahead. Now he's ready to strike back and wreak his revenge on the world by testing another long-range missile. He's testing missiles, man. With these import dates on North Korean state calendar, they then can dial up and then dial them down as they want to. What am I reading? See? Okay. I'm out of there. I don't like sites that take 10 minutes to load the video. It scares me. It's like, why do you have so much? Why? Well, you have viruses loading up on my computer? Please, get away. Even though I have security, but still. Anyway, this is not one of our bonus videos. It's my next video, and one of the videos in my next video. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Not Fake News. Should we talk? Maybe I should talk a little about that horrifying news. So, the very ending of that, we can't listen to the Sunday Daily Mail blog. Kim Jong-un is not starting a war, and we're not going to have missiles shot at us tonight. They can't even reach us, and we're all over it, as you can see. Trump's with China, all over this. So, pretty sure we can handle North Korea. Don't get alarmed. I am certainly not alarmed. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and smash that like button. New thing now, though, when you click subscribe, you have to hit the little bell symbol that's next to the subscribe as well, or else it doesn't work. So, you click subscribe, you click the bell, and then you're in. I am not cooking anything. You are imagining that noise. That is not a microwave. You're imagining it.